Good day to you from Pompey Sound. Here's the very latest update from Fratton Park for Tuesday, March the 25th.
Pompey Sound, your hourly update from Fratton Park, sponsored by Piglet's Pantry, the home of award-winning and handmade food on the South Coast.
And we begin with the latest team news for Blackburn.
After back-to-back losses against Plymouth and Preston, Portsmouth are desperate to get back to winning ways and, crucially, put more distance between themselves and the bottom three. The injury list continues to pile up for John Mousinho ahead of Rovers' visit. Top scorer Callum Lang remains sidelined with the hamstring problem he picked up against Oxford last month, ruling him out for the rest of the season. Paddy Lane won't feature in Pompey's final 8 games either, still nursing the knee injury from January's reverse fixture at Ewood Park where he was forced off at half-time. The defensive crisis deepens with both Hayden Matthews and Ibain Boat out until pre-season with ankle and knee problems respectively. Left-back Jacob Farrell's frustrating first season at Fratton Park also looks set to end prematurely due to ongoing knee issues. There's a glimmer of hope with Connor Shaughnessy nearing fitness after 6 weeks out with a hamstring injury. The defender could return within weeks, with Mousinho likely to provide an update before Saturday's clash. Rob Atkinson's calf problem will keep him out a bit longer than Shaughnessy, though Christian Sadie and Jordan Williams could provide welcome reinforcements against Rovers. Williams hasn't featured since January's 5-1 defeat at West Brom, while Sadie last played against Luton. Blackburn aren't without their own injury headaches for the long trip south. January signing Augustus Cargbo is out with a hamstring issue, though could return before season's end. Andy Wyman, Harry Leonard and Scott Wharton are all confirmed absentees. Danny Bath and Owen Beck are doubtful with hamstring problems, but Harry Pickering might make his comeback after being sidelined since January. The defender was initially targeted for a mid-March return.
Yeah, sounds like Blackburn and Pompey could field 2 very good teams for a game of walking wounded versus walking wounded. What's the future looking like for Pompey's 3 players out on loan?
Pompey have 3 first-team players currently out on loan, and with the summer transfer window approaching, their futures need to be decided. Pompey have had a decent showing in their championship return this season. While not completely safe from the drop, sitting 17th with a 4-point cushion above the relegation zone, they've shown promise under John Mousinho. Last summer's signings Josh Murphy and Nicholas Schmid have particularly impressed. Looking ahead to next season, Pompey are likely to see significant squad changes regardless of which division they end up in. Let's look at what might happen with those 3 loan players. Tom McIntyre joined from Reading last January during Pompey's successful League One promotion push, but he struggled to make an impact. After just 1 League One appearance and 12 championship outings, mostly due to injuries elsewhere in the squad, he moved to Charlton in January. With only 34 minutes of football there, his Portsmouth future looks bleak, especially if they stay up. Verdict: a quality defender at the right level. If someone wanted him, he'd probably be allowed to move on. Anthony Scully's career hasn't taken off as expected since leaving Lincoln for Wigan in 2022. His subsequent move to Portsmouth yielded just 9 appearances before a loan spell at Colchester United, where he's played 10 times without scoring. With his contract expiring, it's hard to see him staying. Verdict: Anthony's experienced a run of really bad luck and deserves a fresh start. We wish him well on his travels. Tom Lowery arrived with high hopes in 2022, after impressing at Crewe Alexandra, where he made 175 appearances as an academy graduate. But with just 31 appearances in 3 seasons for Pompey, he's now back at Crewe on loan. While talented, his Portsmouth career hasn't worked out as planned. Like Scully, he needs pastures anew to regain his mojo.
Must be hard for those guys not to feel aggrieved. But then, John Mousinho is a kind man, a family man, and as he often says, I'm here to win games, not win friends. John Mousinho is having the final word on Pompey's January transfer window.
John Mousinho has laid it on the line about Pompey's radical transfer strategy in the January window. He's clear it was all about the upcoming 4 months and surviving the drop. Hence loan players and free transfers. He says this: I think originally when I first joined the club in League One, we were looking to move away from a heavy reliance on loans. Once we got promoted, we very quickly had to adjust that. Because the remit is different. Portsmouth shopping in League One is very different to Portsmouth shopping in the Championship for now. So those loans become very important, and they could maybe be players we couldn't afford to sign or could get, but we could take them on loan. That's why we took 6 loans. It's not something we would have done last year. It's definitely a market we're still looking at. We are in a different circumstance to last year. The power Portsmouth has in League One changes when we go up a level, certainly in terms of power in the market. So we've needed to try to use the loan market a lot more than we did last year. It gives us definite options in the short term. January was one where we felt we had a really clear short-term priority. We still had the long-term projects, hence Tom and Hayden, though we thought Hayden could impact things a bit quicker. Apart from those two lads, we brought in 4 in loan and 2 free transfers. I guess that signalled the intent of where we wanted to go for the next 4 months.
I think, don't you, most Pompey fans knew that the January transfer activity was about 2 things: the immediate future, in other words, avoiding relegation, and the slightly more distant future of building a young team that are both valuable and capable of really going places.
You've been listening to the latest Pompey Sound podcast. Just a reminder, you can find Pompey Sound on DAB digital radio in the Portsmouth area. Just look for Pompey Sound on your list of DAB stations. If it's not appearing, you may need to rescan your radio set. You can also listen to us online at pompeysound.com, and you can find us on your Alexa smart speaker. Just say, Alexa, open Pompey Sound, and from there on say, Alexa, play Pompey Sound. And a reminder, if you like Pompey Sound podcasts and you use Apple Podcasts and Spotify, then follow us so you never miss an update. We also have the Pompey Sound Podcast YouTube channel. Search for Pompey Sound Podcast on YouTube and subscribe, and that way you will never miss an update.